Welcome back to the podcast. I'm really excited about this guest. We have Suneet Agarwal. He's broken records with his mega team in California, and he's from the cannabis industry in his earlier days. We just had a little talk before this podcast, but there's so many things that I want to bring up. Suneet, thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, thank you for the invite. I'm super excited. Glad we were able to make it happen.
Okay, so I want to get back to your roots. So you're currently like one of the top mega teams in California. I believe you're like top on MLS in Sacramento right now, correct? Or
Last I checked, I was number one on the MLS for so long, which is crazy to say. The funny thing is my right-hand man was number two. So I should have been even higher, but for some reason they gave him credit on a bunch of my deals. So I was number one by a couple 100% for a long time. I haven't looked lately, but we're talking years, Carrie. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I've only been a realtor for 11 years. Half of it up at number one in the MLS.
But how have you done this in 11 years too? Like, I think that's impressive in itself. So you are such a powerhouse in the real estate industry. Like,
nice.
You're a freaking powerhouse. I want to talk though, before we get into the real estate stuff, a little bit about what your life looked like before real estate. Before you got your license, you were in the cannabis industry and you just told me some wild shit. So like, I want to get into that.
So, I used to be a dready. I used to live playing rock bands. I lived up in Humboldt County. I spent a lot of time in Chico. It took me 8 years to get my bachelor's. I was a wild dude. Right out of college, I got into mortgage because they were hiring. Right. I had a degree in like management information systems, which I had no idea what that was good for. But I got into mortgage because they were hiring, and I figured out sales real quick and did pretty good. But my roots were in cannabis, living in Humboldt and Chico. And when mortgage went kind of sideways, I said, well, I only know one other thing, and that's cannabis, and I love it. Mm-hmm. So we went in when George W. Bush was president. Like, they call us friggin' cowboys, right? Like, we're one of the originals here in Northern California, which is crazy because it's California, right? And, when we started, we rented a spot and people started coming. I had 2 sawhorses and a piece of plywood with a cash register and a bunch of jars, right? And that eventually turned into a very nice place in Sacramento. So nice that we used that, and we lobbied the city and we lobbied other cities, and we had attorneys and lobbyists and worked with local government, and we're able to pass some of the first ordinances that existed here in Northern California. So it was a real big deal. During Obama's re-election in 2012, the U.S. attorneys decided to kind of pursue some dispensaries just to be tough on crime, right? And the many people that they pursued were breaking most of the laws. They had guns under their bed and files of cash and all this, right? Which you don't do. Like, you're acting like a gangster, bro. But we were a legitimate business with K's, insurance, all the licenses, because my attorneys helped the city friggin' write the licenses, right? Like, we were those people. However, when the feds want to serve a warrant, they get to take all your shit. So with that happening and them seizing our assets through the serving of a search warrant, right? I said, well, that was pretty traumatic. We're talking U.S. Marshals battering ram to my front door, 5 a.m., laser sights over some cannabis, right? And I was like, you guys could have sent me a letter. Like, let's get real. Like, you could call my office. Like, you really got to do all this? So, that left me kind of reeling. And, people talk about going broke, and I've had other challenges where, I've gone broke, right, in my professional career. But to go from like having money to not having money, like this, when the feds push a button, that's a whole different feeling.
Yeah.
And there's also that identity there. And there's also, well, I still got bills, and now like even my savings, and not like we were balling, we were a real business. We had workman's comp, we had health insurance, we had 401ks, like we did it right. So that took into the big money that everyone thought it was. We did great, but it wasn't like I didn't have Lambo. I had the same car. Like I didn't even buy a car the whole time we were open. I had the same car, right?
Yeah.
But that's crazy. I didn't buy a car the whole time. I never thought about it. But so yeah, that so I went and I kind of just quit working, got an unemployment, did some consulting jobs. My mother is an angel, and she helped me. I'm in my late 30s at that point,
Yeah.
right? And I was breeding like American bulldogs, trying to sell puppies, like a complete trashy dude, right? Like, and my mom and one of my best friends said, "Hey, you should get a real estate." He had recently become a realtor and did well. So I said, "All right, how about not? I'm going to figure something out." And after them really, really encouraging me or telling me, you got to do something,
Yeah.
I went ahead and did. And within 9 months, I was like rookie of the year for that big brand's entire West Coast division. There's something here, right? All I did was really work my ass off. I bought some leads. I started doing a lot of videos on my cell phone and putting them on Facebook. Right. And that's what everyone was telling people to do that. I got really involved, the first year. Then the second year I was well, I kind of want to get back to cannabis. I want to start a business. Cannabis isn't happening. I'm going to start a team because why not? The second year agent. I stood up at the end of a cubicle and said, I'm going to start a team. Who wants to join? And 5 agents raised their hand.
Yeah.
And I'm oh, all right. So I got a team. And really, I dove into self-development and coaching and events and every podcast, and really went on that journey to where I figured it out. There was business acumen because I had run businesses. There was fire because I was pissed.
Well, you're either one of two people in this life. You're either an entrepreneur at heart or you're not. You're like a worker bee. That's my opinion. And from what you tell me about your past, like you've been an entrepreneur
100%.
every step of the way, just in different industries and in different areas. Even when you were, like you said, like trashy living on the farm or the ranch or whatever, breeding bulldogs,
Yeah.
that was a business.
I was going to sell some shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And you either have it or you don't. It's not something that's easily transferable to people that don't really have that.
Me and my brother, dude, I am always the hustler, always the entrepreneur, and he's always the dude that just gets a job. Yeah.
Okay, so I got a question around all this. So, number one, the top team in Sacramento. What's the one thing about being number one that absolutely sucks that nobody talks about? Give it to me.
Well, for the longest time, I had a huge target on my back from the MLS, other agents, bunch of haters.
Mhm.
The president of the MLS called me and said, you have more MLS complaints than anybody's ever had. I said, well, is that because I've had more listings than anybody's ever had? He goes, well, that too. I was all, there you go. Right. Yeah, I mean, that was the hard part.
Yeah. If you were to, because we know everything's changing in the real estate world and it has been for a while now. So what part of our industry do you think is completely broken?
I mean, has anything really ever changed? Maybe just the mechanisms have changed, right? But the fundamentals, when I coach other team leaders and brokerage owners, like the fundamentals, I don't think have changed. Work hard, show up and be a professional, right? Be consistent, get back to people. The mechanisms around the technology and the mechanisms around like new forms or new rules. I'm in California, so it's all the legal shit they can throw at us. They totally do. Our contract like longer than any other state by a lot.
Jeez.
So that's what I think, right? Is like what's broken. I don't know if anything about the industry is broken. And look, like you could say that people come in maybe not knowing what they need to know, and there should be a higher barrier of entry. Yeah, but let there be more agents. Like give everybody a shot. If you take your shot, and if you fail, that's on you, right? More for me. I'll keep on being better. So it's a good growth opportunity.
Yeah. So that's fair. Now we need to talk about my passion now, which is AI.
Okay.
So how are you using AI first of all, in your business, on your team, with your team?
So like there's some I had a Jasper account forever ago, right? Like,
Yeah.
right. And I think I told you, I wrote the first Chat GPT course that came out. I wrote it the same week that Chat GPT came out. And we sold the hell out of it. 700 like things. Me and John Cheplak, we had that course to put it out and it killed. Today I was using we have tools inside of the CRM. Like we've always automated everything.
Yeah.
The first things I used to talk about were automation within CRMs, right?
Yeah.
So there's some new tools that people are putting inside of the CRM that I use, Follow Up Boss, where they have tools where they listen to the calls, do the AI coaching, right? Which I think is good. There's this new tool that we're using that listens to the calls and acts as an agent's personal assistant.
Yeah, I've heard of this one.
Yeah, and I'm not going to say their name because I'm not going to give any free advertising to freaking anybody. But my agents are using that and they like it because it's mostly just a SMS kind of interface where they don't got to log into anything else. Right. So on the team, I think the biggest opportunity for most agents and team leaders is to really produce more content. I mean, like, at least do that if you care about selling shit. Right? Like, produce more content on every channel that you can.
And let's talk about why too, because you need to be recommended by AI search engines and discoverable by AI search agents now. It's a different game. SEO is completely different.
I was just on a call. One of my boys who owns a big marketing agency started AEO.co. So check that out. Part of the AI SEO, so AI optimization, AI engine optimization.
It's a thing though. Like this is a real thing for the agents who care about SEO optimization for their websites. This is a whole other bag of worms for them to have to consider, right? If that
I just got off a big call with some huge marketers about that an hour ago. No, 45 minutes ago, where that was the whole call. That they're not specific to real estate, but however, we know this. One of the first plugins that ChatGPT launched was a Zillow plugin, right? So there is some point happening where Bobby and Sally are sitting home and they say, "Hey Siri, hey Alexa, hey ChatGPT, hey whoever, I want to go see 3 houses today in this neighborhood. Can you set up a tour?"
right?
Right. That day, I mean, look, you could have done that inside. You could have done a lot of that inside of the Zillow custom GPT when ChatGPT first came out. Try again. Okay. Yeah. Now my phone picked it up. Right. However, but so that's very, hey, Alexa, hey Siri. It's going to pick it up every time. Like, hey, I want to sell my house. Who should sell it?
Yeah. 100%. I tell agents all the time, I'm like, it's going to massively change how buyers find their properties and how sellers choose their agents. Like I could go to ChatGPT and say, "Hey, I'm looking to sell my house. I only want to deal with women who are divorced and have no kids because I'm super needy and I want them available 24. And they must love dogs, but they got to be really, really good at the lakeshore area on the water in Burlington." And if somebody's content depicts that, the AI search engine will find it and send it to me. So it all comes back to content.
Well, I mean, like, Google and, all the the LLMs, all of them are indexing Google right now, right?
No.
Like that's what they're using. Except for Google.
ChatGPT is Bing.
Okay, are you sure? Because the call I just got off of, it said that it's using Google as a data set.
3 months ago, they're using Bing.
Okay.
They changed that in the last 3 months, but yeah.
I think so, because these are like guys who own like these companies. Said that. I don't know. We'll have to check it. But still, right? Like, but you should still index on Bing. You should index everywhere. You should index on YouTube. You should index on Facebook. You should index on X. You should index on every, because someone's going to ask friggin' Grok, right? Like, I want to sell. Someone's going to like the Grok user experience. Hey, I want to sell my house. I like Grok sometimes, right?
I love Grok. What's your favorite LLM?
So it depends on the use, right? For written content, it's got to be Claude.
Really?
Got to be Claude. A lot of so I'm in this big marketing mastermind. I just, talked about it with guys like Perry Belcher, Jason, the top dudes. And I'm the only real estate guy in there. So they spend a lot of time talking about this. And Manus, one of the top copywriters I know, is using Manus now, and he sent me the credits. I haven't looked at it, but I love Claude 3.7 Sonnet for written content.
So
100%.
I love Claude. Claude is supposed to be really good for coding. I don't code, so I
Yeah,
would know. But my only thing with Claude is memory isn't as great. And therefore, for me, because I use ChatGPT every single day and it knows everything, like I've got looped tasks, automations happening. So it knows everything I'm doing. I can't justify not like switching over to Claude when it's memory, can't even remember what I talked about in a different conversation. So I'm more about the automation of it and it understanding my brand and my company. Do you know what I
so
mean?
we're not using Claude. You're absolutely right. We're not using Claude inside of Claude.
Okay,
We're using it in bots that we've created with Claude as the writing component.
nice.
And the bot has everything else saved, like a dynamic memory with shit that we put in Chat GPT, right? Just so I can get the content I like and still get the
Yeah.
memory. There's the two like softwares that we use for that. One is MindPal, which is
Okay.
freaking
Really
MindPal is
good.
insane. Mind and the owners are great people. They're in Singapore, and MindPal is insane. Like you can have any different agent in any different LLM, and just make the workflow and have it shoot over here and do this and zap into this. It is insane.
I am going to look into this actually.
And then also for easy shareable bots.
Mm-hmm.
Well, MindPal also has a shareable bot thing, but I'm using some bots in Poe too, which is similar to where you can bring in hook up your API from the different language models, build the bot in there, and have it reference that. But like my clients in reside and coaching, they all get access to like all my Claude bots. I got Grok bots. I got Perplexity bots. We got like a bot that talking about content where Perplexity will go find the newsletter topics. We send
Mm-hmm.
3 newsletters a week to our consumer list, where Perplexity will go and do the research because it's really good at that, right? And then send that to Claude, that'll write a blog, and then send that blog to a website for us to publish, and then write an article using Claude on the blog, and then add it to our newsletter, right? And doing that for all the different topics. So different language models,
Yeah.
having specialized in the single task, right? Different language models, single task specific agents working in unison with different LLMs and single tasks. Like
Yeah.
write the intro, write the body, write the headline, write the hook, right? Write the CTA. So it's different steps.
What do you think of Gemini?
I think that a lot of the stuff they have in the back there
Mm-hmm.
is super cool.
Yeah.
Notebook LM, right? Some of their deep research stuff, some of their vision, like where you can have it like read the room and record stuff. I like that. I haven't used it for any kind of like real toy.
No,
Like not daily,
I
right? Like
like
my
it.
thing is Chat GPT.
So I'm using it not as much as ChatGPT, but for the simple fact that I have G Suite, so like my Google Drive, my Google Calendar, my Gmail,
Yeah.
I can access it through live chat, voice chat. I could just be like, hey,
Yeah.
somebody calls me and says, hey, I want to come on your podcast for 2 p.m. on Tuesday. I can say, Gemini, am I open? Do you know what I mean? Like, so I like it for that. It's not quite there yet where it can actually create docs, create spreadsheets, create content from a voice command, but it's going to be the first one that can because, like, hello, Google, Gemini. So I'm getting used to it now because I just feel like it's taken ChatGPT too long to pull this off. Like, remember when they integrated, you could integrate your Google Drive with ChatGPT? Well, it stopped there and it never progressed.
Yeah.
So I ended up having to use Gemini.
Yeah, maybe it's just that I'm using a different AI tool for my email now, so I don't even log into Google Suite, right? I'm using Shortwave, which connects to OpenAI.
Really? Shore wave or short wave?
But I've been saying the name wrong so much. It's Shortwave. I'm
Short.
looking at it.
Short. Okay.
So, that's like a open AI integrated email, like it's my main email thing on my phone now and on my computer instead of
See,
Gmail.
EXP is using Fixer, but I tried Fixer. I didn't like it that much.
Yeah, I haven't heard of it.
I'm okay. So where I'm at with like calendar integrations and email integrations, if you're not saving me time, I don't want anything to do with it. I'm more about automation and time than anything else. And if you are giving me in the same response email draft 2 or 3 responses, that means I have to go in there, read them, and at least delete one, if not edit one. And at this point, I'm not saving any time. It might be taking me more time. So I just get really impatient and fed up
Awesome.
with stuff that just isn't there yet like that. Does that make sense, Sunny?
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome.
And then honestly, like, what do you think about this? Because I'm trying, like, okay, so I do AI coaching and consulting for all the brokerages. I
Shout out to
feel
Carrie.
like, yeah, so there's tens of thousands of tools out there, AI niche specific tools. I may recommend like 5. And here is why. I think that LLMs are advancing at such a rapid speed that SaaS products are going to be irrelevant soon. Going to put
Absolutely.
them out of business. So why am I going to bother and waste my time? Like, look how quickly they're advancing. You know what I mean?
Well, you can make your own SaaS with bold or lightweight
Exactly.
things, right?
Yeah. Like yeah, I just don't. And at the end of the day, I don't care to you. Like, people ask me all the time because I create bots for social media because I'm a content creator. That's how I generated all my business, my entire career for every company. Okay. And so everyone's like, well, why do you create your own tools for social media? I'm like, because I'm not, because they're like, there's a lot of them out there available. True. But I don't want to use a social media tool built by a computer engineer. What the hell do they know about A, social media, and B, getting business as a realtor or an entrepreneur on social media? Nothing. They absolutely know nothing about it. So I'm going to build myself. And
Yeah.
I feel like that's why you do the same thing, right? Like, I'm not going to put, because it's not, that's what one people don't understand. AI is great, but it's really like what makes it really good is the knowledge and the training behind it. That's when you get like really good AI products and something worth using. And most of it isn't. And that's why, because they don't know what the hell they're doing. There's no knowledge that's going into the training of this tool.
Yeah, I mean, so just yesterday we made a outbound recruiting calling bot, right? And the first iteration was okay. Let me tell you, that 14th one that I got yesterday, that thing is great, right? And not that, I don't know if it's legal to use without a proper opt-in anyways. But however, goes to what you say. Like, you got to train that. If you want something specific, you got to train to the specificity. And the cool thing is how I trained that bot is I took the transcript of every call and loaded it back into Chat friggin' GPT
Yeah.
4.0 and said improve, improve, improve,
Yeah,
improve. Yep. So
absolutely.
like so like for the viewers and listeners, like, for AI, learn enough to be dangerous. Ask the AI to help you where you need help, and then leverage people like Carrie, or maybe you get some coder somewhere on Upwork to do some shit for you. But you could really at least shorten the delivery time and everything that you want to produce.
Well, what about the fact that you can build an entire company and everything, almost everything you need for that company using AI now? Like,
I
I don't know anything about digital
all
sales, but that's
yeah.
my company now, Suneet. So what I did is I went and took a bunch of high level coaching from the people who understand it the best, and I turned them into AI bots that could then reproduce all my funnel assets as I need them, following those concepts. And so that's my favorite thing to do. You just have to program things properly. Like, you can't just, throw shit at the wall and hope it sticks, right? It needs
Yeah.
to come from somewhere. But like, if I can do that, as going from 15 years as a real estate agent to having a digital company, like, I built that with my one assistant because I used AI to do everything. I didn't know how to, write ads. I didn't know how to build what's a funnel. Okay, I first had to learn. You know what I mean? And now AI built it all for me. But you have to, it's a little bit more involved than how it sounds, but
You got those awesome employees. I mean, look, same thing. Like I own, I think, 7 companies, and we're launching something new in about 2 weeks. A recruiting call appointment setter.
I want to hear. I want to see this. I want to test it too. I
Well,
have
no,
a database.
that's going to be real people.
Oh, really?
That's making the outbounds.
So,
But
Sunit, I have a database of like 20,000 agents that I've accumulated over the last year. Obviously, I'm an agent attraction for my company, right? I'd like to talk to you about that. I think that'd be
yeah, but I mean, so is it a scraped list or is it an opted in list?
no,
It's
it's
probably
opted in. It's opted in from my
it's
because
opted
that's what I
in.
do. I provide coaching to agents. So
Yeah. So I mean, I would make sure that the opt-in is all good, and then it's I mean, like we have all the different companies that we've helped really scale by using AI, not AI driven, but we've been able to scale more companies faster. Coaching, consulting, this other
yeah,
thing, right? The Reside platform, we've been able to scale that faster by using these tools, not in replace, but just scale faster, right? We still have great employees and virtual teams, but for what you're saying, like you could get a list, put it in Go High Level, create the workflow, have it text if the person doesn't answer, have it do an AI call. If the
yeah.
person answers the AI call and says no, have another workflow that starts in 3 months and call and say something else. Like that's the kind of stuff that we're building right now, just for fun mostly, but who knows? Yeah.
I love this. Tell me about your other companies.
So, I've been coach, when you're number one in the fifth biggest economy in the world and speak on a lot of stages, people want to learn. So for the longest time, my mentor was John Cheplack. He's a coach, and he brought me on as a coach with him. So it's funny. The same year that I did over $1 billion in sales, top dog. One of the years I was top dog. I also did 1,001 coaching calls, right?
Goodness.
And also made a bunch of content. All the content was written by Jasper. But then so coaching got really big. My business here runs itself, thank goodness, from the systems I built, a lot of AI in there. And then coaching, we have our Reside platform too, which is a consulting company where we help teams scale with their agents and everything, and mortgage and some other stuff. That's been my passion. I'm always looking to be fulfilled in shit that I do. And like coaching and consulting has become really fulfilling.
I like that. Okay, I got a question for you. So, what do you think the one piece of advice that most coaches and gurus are spewing out there that is total BS?
The guru shit out there friggin' drives me crazy. Go read my Facebook or my Twitter and see how much shit I talk about gurus. Maybe because I'm Indian, I don't know.
Ah,
But hey, but I think for like the longest time, and I don't know what other people are saying anymore because I don't listen, right? But for the longest time, it was like get seventh level, like get out of production, like be the CEO. And like that's good until the market like has hella less sales and you get cracked in the face, right? And there was a lot of people I want to get out of production, like it's a friggin' merit badge or some kind of trophy. Right. And people want to get in their friggin', their ivory tower. Oh, I'm the CEO. I saw a lot of people get cracked by that stupid ass thinking when the market shifted even a little bit. People having to sell assets, right? People having to get back on them streets and start slinging houses.
yeah,
I've been out of production for many years, but yeah, dude, I have many other businesses and forms of income, right? So
yeah,
when our production went down, and it definitely has, we don't do $1 billion anymore. Like those were the days, right? Shit ain't that easy anymore. Nor do I think I want to work that hard anymore. But like we're set.
yeah. So, if you had to do this all over again, Sunit, what would you do differently?
Dude, I don't know. I mean, honestly, well, what would I do differently? I mean, there was a long time in this come up where I like didn't lead a really healthy lifestyle. I'm
Mm,
pretty fit now, but I used to like fucking tear it up. Like I drank a lot. I partied my ass off. I was really unhealthy. I was overweight, so I was able to do all this shit, a little hungover most days and lazy and tired from not exercising. Right. So I think going back, if I was to do anything different, that would be it. Because otherwise, I mean, I feel fortunate. Lightning in a bottle. Like, I don't know what fucking happened.
Yeah.
It just worked out, right?
Wow. I look back, the way I ran my real estate business was on social media, but I was also very social in my marketplace as well. Restaurant openings and events. I feel like just like you, like I operated with a little bit of a hangover every day.
Yeah,
I don't even know how I got through.
yeah. Like I
COVID
drank.
saved my life, man. I'm telling you.
Yes, I drank bottles of wine every night, at least as far as I can remember.
Most people like fell off during COVID because they were bored. I like finally got on the health train. I started like running. I quit smoking for the first time. Yes, it's been multiple times, but like, yeah, COVID saved my life, which is crazy. Okay.
I drank hella harder during COVID.
Now now I'm looking forward to seeing you in Sacramento when I'm there in September. So that'll be
Yeah,
fun. Okay. Give me your top 3 tech tools. Doesn't have to be AI, but please throw one in
good.
there
Yeah, I
that you
mean,
can't live without. Like I'm like talking
I think everybody should have some sort of high level task management system. And for us, it's Monday. And I love it.
really Monday.
I love it. I operate all the businesses, all the content. When I sold, a couple thousand homes a year, they all went through Monday. All our homes still go through Monday. We run Reside, which is a big company, through Monday, right? Like, I have every piece of content I've ever done across every channel. And we've posted, 4 or 5 times a day to
Mhm.
5 different brands for the last 6 years, right? So I have all that content there. We have everything inside of Monday, and it's
Huh.
great. But I also have Notion for personal task management, which is probably a little redundant. Anybody listening, you should have one.
We have a sauna. We're doing a sauna,
Yeah, fine, right? I love Go High Level. Something
right? Isn't it great?
I love Go High Level. And I love it too because I have different accounts for different businesses. It's all in one place. And I got clients in there I can do stuff with too. And besides that, like iMessage, right? Like, I mean, that's pretty much it. Sure, like, ChatGPT is great personal assistant, Claude for writing. But I made a lot of money with just Monday and SMS and right? And that's it.
This is my new favorite. These are my meta glasses.
What are those?
They're my meta glasses. So I got really excited because now Meta launched the app, right? So with the app, there's more crossover and more advancements are going to come in terms of remembering everything you see, which is freaking wild, right? Yeah.
I don't. I mean, well, they look great. So you got that. I don't know if I'm ready, dude.
Do
I
it.
don't. Okay.
So I'm the person that cannot remember names or details about people's lives. I'm that person. My husband fills that part, that missing piece. He's very personable. I'm very like, I don't know. I'm very introverted. And yeah, I feel like these are gonna solve all my problems.
So will the use case be you record everything, you filter it into some kind of bot that will give you notes
Okay,
when you?
here's what I'm going to do. I'll tell you. So I speak last year I spoke on I would say roughly about 74 stages all over the world from like
That's a lot.
Parliament in Rome to like Iceland, like you name it. And I get stage fright. Sometimes like I straight up black out while I'm up there. But if I wear these on stage, I'm hoping that they'll advance or I can pull the content and manipulate it in my own way so that I can seize people's reactions to what I'm saying, have that be like one feedback loop, but also, people that come up and talk to me after, instead of having to fly a team out there that can keep track of all of, everything that's going on, the people that want to follow up with me, the AI glasses can just record everything. Like that's my perfect scenario, but like obviously there's way more opportunity, right? Like it
I
can
think
tell
that
you what you're looking at. They can tell you what they're looking at right now. What else? Like it's coming, Sunny. It's coming. And
it
Meta's
is.
on their shit right now. So I'm actually they dropped the ball big time. Like I remember using their their chat bot inside Instagram, just being like, you suck. You just lied to me 3 times in a row. I'm never using you again. But I feel like they're trying to make up for lost time. So like I'm here for it.
Yeah. I think that feedback loop is a great use case.
Right. So that's something that like I feel like you speak a lot, right? So I feel like that's something that we could really utilize. That's what just so you know, I do AI consulting and stuff, but it's not because I have any tech skills. I actually have none. Mine is like my strategy, operations, and my ability to like see use cases that other people can't. So that's like that's kind of like my superpower. It's not because I can build you anything or code anything. Like can't do that. But I can definitely like hire somebody to build something sick because of like the things that I see, the operations that I see, and the strategy that I see.
So are you making then all your bots in OpenAI?
Yeah, right now I'm just doing GPTs. I've been doing them forever. I built EXP, their marketing department, all their GPTs, Leo his.
Cool.
Yeah, so I'm really good at like, mapping out how they should work. My GPTs don't just like they're not generalized. Like they walk like they do like a 10-step process for you and you can't fuck it up, Suneet. Like you cannot mess it up. It's like
You should really look at MindPal because you're gonna like MindPal.
I'm going to.
You can make the bots in there and you can do the workflows where you can put fucking 100 different GPTs in there with different user interfaces. Like you're gonna love it.
And then I want to build out, like I need to build out the automations as well. I've been using Zapier my entire real estate career, not very well because like up until 2 years ago, it was a little rough, you know what I mean? For somebody with no tech skills. But now like Zapier's got its own AI and like make.com just launched its own agents. Have you seen this?
I don't mess with Make because I tried a couple years ago, but I love Zapier. And, I have a big virtual team where they do the shit.
Well, Zapier has its own agents as well. So like that's like my summer goal is to really teach myself like the automation part of it because that's what's going to make the really good agents is the agents that cannot just imagine it can like give you all of the killer content that you can always get with my GPTs, but now it can place it places for you. You know what I mean? Like that's the next step for me.
Go get a MindPal account. Yes.
I wrote that down when you said it.
And I can introduce you to the owners to their one.
Awesome. That would be great. Awesome. Well, do you have any last words of advice? Give some wisdom to our agents out there. They want to be Suneet. They're like, I want to sell $1 billion of real estate a year and I want to have a mega team. What are they going to do?
I mean, there's really no secrets. I think, kind of this is a good full circle moment to what we started, right? It's like, well, you're going to have to work hard. You're going to have to burn the boats. If you want growth, you have to understand that sacrifice, there's a cost, right? The cost of growth is some sort of sacrifice. It's maybe money, maybe social, maybe both, right? Maybe time. So you can't do everything, but you can do one thing really hard for some amount of time and build the shit that you need to, right? And, I guess that's what happened to me. Went into self-development, worked my ass off, and work works.
I love that. I love that. I don't care if you're sitting on a ranch breeding bulldogs right now. There's no freaking excuse. Get your ass your real estate license. Let's go.
I mean, dude, I didn't have internet, so I'd have to go sit in the fucking parking lot of Starbucks and post their internet because I didn't have any money. There was no siding on the house. It was just mud and wire, right? My mom was paying the rent, right?
Well, you are a success story and congratulations on all your success. And I really look forward to nurturing this friendship because I feel like I can learn so much from you as well.
Thanks.
And we will see you in Sacramento. Thanks so much, Suneet.
All right. Thanks, Carrie. See you.